Hi, and welcome to the first installment of Karatsu Forum and Smart Angels TV. In this segment, you're going to meet Adrian Banica, the CEO of Synodon, an Edmonton-based company that is in the final stages of development of a helicopter-based remote sensing device designed to detect methane gas leaks. Adrian, tell us a bit about your company.
Synodon is developing and commercializing a breakthrough remote sensing technology called RealSense that is able to detect very small ground-level gas concentrations from an aircraft.
Well, that sounds interesting. How does it work?
It is a spectroscopic instrument, which actually you can think of it as a large camera that's looking down at the ground. It uses solar radiation, sunlight, as an energy source. And as the sunlight passes through a gas leak or through the gas plume, it changes the properties of the light, and our instrument is able to detect those small changes and quantify how much gas there is.
Well, how significant is this problem?
Well, if you were to look at the pipeline infrastructure of North America, or as a matter of fact, of the whole world, the pipe has been in the ground for over 40 to 50 years, and it is aging, it is corroding, and it is the incident number of leaks that are happening is going up every single year. Roughly about 2 million leaks are happening every year in the pipeline networks of the world. And current technologies to detect these leaks are very inefficient. They have to be deployed by foot, and they're not actually finding all the leaks. Their efficiency rate is only about 50%. So technologies are obsolete, and this is a leapfrog technology to allow us to actually detect those leaks with much higher accuracy.
Do you have proprietary technology?
It is proprietary. It is patented technology. We have patents that we filed both in North America and in Europe.
Where did the concept come from?
The technology is a spin-off from a space instrument that was developed at the Canadian Space Agency and the University of Toronto. And the instrument was launched in 1999 on a NASA satellite called Terra. The instrument was called MOPET, and the instrument was actually used to measure carbon monoxide and methane in the atmosphere. The purpose of that was for global warming and atmospheric research. We have licensed or acquired certain intellectual property from the University of Toronto, and then use that to develop our own technology.
Who developed the technology, and is that person a current member of your company?
The technology itself was developed by Dr. Boyd Tolton, who's our Chief Science Officer, and our second largest shareholder in the company.
Well, what stage of development are you at?
The stage that we're currently at is what we call final commercialization. We have actually been working on this business since 2000. It has been a lot of effort and a lot of work that we put in it.
Do you have any competition?
The U.S. government is putting a lot of money, a lot of effort into trying to spur R&D into this particular area. So there have been a number of efforts. However, there's only really one true competitor that we can speak of, a company that is really going to bring a technology to market. And that is an old division of Kodak called Kodak Space Imaging, which was eventually purchased by ITT last year. But Kodak is commercializing a laser-based instrument as opposed to ours, which is passive using solar radiation. And we anticipate them to be our primary competitor. However, there are two aspects that we should mention about Kodak. First of all, they're focusing on a small portion of our market, which is the transmission pipelines, rather than the overall pipeline market. Transmission pipelines represent roughly 25% of the pipeline industry out there. And secondly, it is always good to actually have another company commercializing the technology in the same arena, demonstrating that indeed it's not just a pipe dream, that the industry actually does need that. And the fact that Kodak has spent a tremendous amount of money to develop this technology demonstrates that there is a need indeed.
How much money have you raised to date?
We raised a total of $2.9 million so far. Part of that money was government funds, which was non-dilutive. With that money, and actually a portion of that money, we still have about $1.4 million of that cash available to us. With that money, we actually developed a number of prototypes. We have tested the instrument in the field conditions. We've demonstrated to pipeline companies. And currently, we're building our first commercial unit, which we expect to have ready by this summer. And we have lined up a whole number of companies for field trials, namely TransCanada Pipelines as our largest Canadian partner, And we have received a lot of support from 9 natural gas pipeline companies in the American Northeast.
Well, and importantly, what's your burn rate?
We have an internal burn rate, which is salary-based and so on, which is about $75,000 a month, which is pretty low. However, most of our work is done by subcontracting. And we have 3 large subcontractors in the U.S., which the overall commercialization phase that we're going through right now, and in particular the final design and manufacturing of the first unit, is a $1.5 million project. So that's more than $100,000 a month.
So tell us, how much money are you looking for?
We're looking at raising $2 million US. This money would actually pay for the final manufacturing of our instrument, which is currently underway. It also will pay for the field trials that we have lined up for this fall, and will also pay for our initial sales and marketing campaign and get us effectively to a cash flow positive.
How are you going to charge for this service?
The way we're going to price our service, because I shall point out that we are not selling an instrument, we're not selling technology, rather we're using the technology that we're building to enable a service. So we're offering a service to the pipeline companies to fly over their pipelines and find their leaks. The service will be priced on a per kilometer basis.
How much are you going to charge for the service then?
We're looking at anywhere between $60 to $80 a kilometer. Current costs, to give you an idea of the savings that the companies might incur, are somewhere between $100 to $180 a kilometer. So those are the kind of levels of savings that pipeline companies could expect.
And how does that compare with the current rate pipeline companies are paying now?
Looking at the combination of the distribution pipeline market, which is in cities pipelines, and the transmission pipeline market, we're looking at a combined yearly expenditure that pipeline companies incur to perform leak surveys, not other kind of surveys, just leak surveys, of $300 million.
What are your projected revenues?
Primarily, the revenue will start next year. We're looking at reaching about $36 million by 2008.
And also, and this is an important question, how deep are your connections in the pipeline industry?
One of our major investors and our current president and chief operating officer is a fellow by the name of Chris Sheard. Chris was a former president of ATCO Gas in Alberta, in Edmonton. ATCO is roughly a $1.3 billion corporation on the gas side. And he spent 25 years of his career there and culminated as becoming president of that particular company. Chris brings to our operation a lot of contacts, a lot of credibility, a lot of knowledge about the industry and why the industry buys these kind of services and how to exactly sell them.
Adrian, thanks for this. Now, if you'd like more information about Synodon, you can reach them through their website at www.synodon.com.